Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Amu alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. A'udhu billahi sami'il alim minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Alhamdulillah allazi hadana li hadha al-islam wa ma kunna linahtadiya lawla an hadana Allah. Our viewers cut across the country and cast across the globe. Good afternoon or good morning or good evening because of the difference of the latitude and the longitude. In summary, my message is short. It's about the increment of the prices in the country. It's very rampant. It's even beyond rampant. So I just want to give a word of God to each and everyone, to all and sundry, as to whether we'll take it. It is our own palaver. I want to quote both the Bible and the Quran. There are certain verses, most of our Christians and most of our Muslims also, they don't understand the verse. That's in the Bible, that's love your neighbor as yourself. In the Quran, in Surah An-Nisa, that's wa'budullah wa la tushriku bihi shay'an wa bil walidayni ihsanan wa bil dhil qurba wal yatama wal masakin wa jari dhil qurba wa jari dhul wa sabil wa ibn sabil. I'll come and explain that one. Love your neighbor as yourself means that you love your neighbor. Whatever thing you think is good for you, you also do it for your neighbor. And your neighbor doesn't necessarily mean that the person in your house or the person inside your house or 2 houses or 3 houses. People you live in the classrooms, they are your neighbor. Your classmates are your neighbor. Your living citizens in the same country, in the same town, in the same city, in the same village, in the same suburb, they are all your neighbors. So, in the Quran too, then after what God said in Surah An-Nisa, in short, I just want to talk that you should also do good to your neighbor. You also good after worshiping God, then you do good to your mother and your father, your parents, and then the people, your relatives, your family, then you also do good to your neighbor in the Quran, Surah An-Nisa. It means that you have to be good to anyone, even in the car, someone in the same car with you is your neighbor. What I want to put across here is that if you have access to your commodities, although the problem is from the government, where we have increment of taxes and increment of petrol, no one can dispute that. No one can dispute that. There's no any doubt about that. But if we want to follow the government and we also say that we'll do something to hate the government, it means that we are hating ourselves. The government is doing what it is doing. Everybody is talking in the world and outside the world to bring the government on board to do the necessary things drastically and immediately so that things will be in order. The oppositions are talking, individuals are talking, stakeholders, everybody is talking. But quite apart from the government, we the individuals, my major concern is about we the individual, the businessmen and women. If the government go one step by increasing the price of petrol, please go to 1 step or 2 steps so that it can match what the government does. But when the government goes 1 step and you go 9 or 100 steps, what are you thinking of for your neighbor? Please, we are living with poor people in this country. And there must be poor person or average person in any community, including the cities. What and how do you want this neighbor to live with you? And don't forget, we are in a peaceful land, that's Ghana. That's why we are living in peace, because of the mercy that Ghanaians have amongst themselves. Long ago, or in the olden days, you see that Ghanaians are merciful to themselves. But now, where is the mercy? And if we don't have mercy among ourselves, the original mercy on top, that's God Almighty Allah, will also not have mercy over us. If we don't want to see something beyond this crisis, for us to be hiding, we are looking for places to hide and we can't get it. Please let us also to be justice to ourselves we try as much as possible, the little profit that we can have to make our own living, we should also try and do that, whilst waiting for the government to do the necessary things to correct the country. We should also try and make sure that we soften things. If the problem is from the government and we the individuals, we should not also put more pressure to our own people. Please let us fear God and bring the price to our own level. I can't blame you the businessmen or women. It's not your fault. It's the increment of the petrol and the taxes. But you should also at least do something, at least to have mercy over the people around you who cannot afford. With this one, we have a very lasting peace. But, if we don't have that one in mind, we want to use the opportunity of the petrol and the taxes to deal with our... We are not dealing with the government, the ministers, they don't care. They are doing their own things. The minister will not come and buy pure water. He cannot come and buy rubber. He cannot come and buy rice. He will not come and buy... They are doing... They have their own things. So if you are squeezing the prices, if you are multiplying the prices, you are affecting the individuals. So we call on the government first, was warning the businesswomen to take an immediate steps by controlling these petrol prices and then the high taxations to the individuals and the business, because we can't call the businesswomen and any response they will give it to us, they are in order. But we are pleading to them to see that they are living with average people and needy people and poor people. With this one, there will be a lasting peace in the country. We are pleading to you to also use your own mind, use your own economic formula to make sure that you soften the people within the community that you live, so that they can also live like the way you are. They are your living mates as you have classmates and other people. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.